Well, here we are looking down onto our farm at the Mains of Fincastle in Highland, Perthshire. The farm is a family affair and we run cattle and sheep, and we also grow trees. As the ground sits on a limestone ridge, it's botanically very rich. Indeed, much of the farm is designated as a site of special scientific interest. This nature value is at the core of how we run the farm. So, as well as being organic, we view the cattle as being absolutely vital to our whole approach. We run the cattle on a low-input, extensive grazing system. They spend the summer on the hill, keeping the sward open for the flowers and sweet grasses, and feeding the insect life and the soil with their dung. Right now, in mid-October, we're bringing them off the hill to the more sheltered parts of the farm, keeping them out for as long as possible before bringing them to the shed for winter. This is where trees come into their own. Cows love trees. They use them for itching, very important if you're a cow, for shelter and shade, and they selectively browse the leaves, especially in the spring. Our sheep also utilise the trees. At over 1,000 feet, we see great benefit in the spring when grass is in very short supply. It's great to be able to put sheep and lambs in round the trees where young grass comes away sooner than anywhere else on the farm. Likewise, in snow, sheep will find open ground under trees. Mixing cows and sheep and trees is an old story. Cattle, especially, are historically a woodland animal. What is new is planting in such a pattern as this, so that the animals can graze through the trees instead of crowding round the edge of a traditional impenetrable shelter belt. Here you can see dense strips of oak and rowan and other hardwoods growing clean and straight for a timber crop. Between the strips are 12-foot wide rides of grassland which can be grazed by stock. With this approach you have a developing timber crop, shelter and shade, grazing, and a rich wildlife habitat. Consider also that the trees contribute greatly to making the farm carbon neutral, something that is quite rightly an increasingly hot topic. For too long, farming and forestry have been at loggerheads. Yes, certain types of farming and certain types of forestry are just incompatible, but we have seen here that growing trees on a farm is not just possible, but positively beneficial. You have a slow-growing plant which enhances the welfare and profitability of your stock, which is great for biodiversity and carbon capture, and is a viable crop in its own right. Farming with trees is certainly for us the way forward.